How many executive chefs at white tablecloth restaurants serving A5 Wagyu beef and caviar do you know who got their start at Chik-Fil-A? Well, in today's episode of Red Fox on the Run, I sit down with executive chef Kyle Biddy of Little Betty Steak Bar and Sea Bar here in Birmingham, Alabama, and of Luella in Atlanta. This is a fantastic story, and I learned it just the first time I sat down with him and enjoyed the most amazing carpaccio studded with fantastic caviar on it, and I fell in love with that dish ever since and just wanted to sit down and hear his story. So tune in to this episode of Red Fox on the Run, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Hi, welcome to another episode of Red Fox on the Run. I'm your host, Christiana Roussel. Today, I am sitting down with Chef Kyle Biddy. You're the executive chef here at Little Betty Steak Bar in Mountain Brook in Birmingham, Alabama. And tell me about your other concept you have.
Yeah, so we just opened Little Betty Sea Bar directly next door, which I also oversee. And then in November, we also opened Luella in Atlanta, which is basically Little Betty #2 in a lot of ways.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So I know you grew up in Atlanta, is that right?
Correct. Home sweet home.
Okay, Marietta?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What was your favorite place to eat when you were growing up?
Oh my goodness. It might be Chick-Fil-A, honestly, and I know we're gonna get that. I know we're gonna get to that. No, honestly, I came from a food family, and so we always had great food at home. But I remember a special night out would be a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
Or an Outback, a Bloomin' Onion, and things like that. That's what we loved growing up.
Right.
Simple, easy, those kind of things.
So steak is a through line.
Steak is a through line. I guess it's always been a part of everything I've done.
Yeah, exactly. And so you oversee Little Betty Steak Bar and Sea Bar, and then in Atlanta. So it makes you the director of culinary for Revival Restaurant Group.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. All right. So you didn't grow up being like, I've been watching Food Network, I want to be a chef. Like, how are you bit by the bug?
Sure. I mean, that was actually a little bit a part of my story once I really kind of fell in love with food in high school. But honestly, the women in my family, right? It's just my amazing grandmother, my aunts, my mom, they always ran the kitchen for every holidays, and we always had a big family, big holiday spread, and it was, they didn't even really allow me in the kitchen much.
Really?
They're very territorial, with what they do in there and stuff. But they let me in enough to see and get excited about it. And we always had great food on the table. And then even, when my mom wasn't with family, she always had a great meal for us, no matter how busy she was with work or anything like that. And always have great family recipes. Shout out mac and cheese. We got to have it at every holiday. If it's not there, I'm upset. If I go to a friend's holiday and they don't have mac and cheese, I'm like, what are we doing? This isn't a right holiday. This isn't correct. We're missing something here. Yeah. Just because that's such a staple for us. And it's just a long line of family cooks. So always had a, love for food and respect for food through them.
Was mac and cheese homemade when you were growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sharp cheddar, medium cheddar, nice sauce. Yeah, absolutely. Granny always made it from scratch, and we loved it.
So, yeah. So you had a scheduling mishap. That's how you kind of learned to get cooking. Tell me about that.
Talk about a happy accident, right? Yeah. In high school, an athlete playing football, playing baseball. Something happened. I showed up. I was late one day for something. I don't know if I was sick or had like a doctor's appointment, but that was the day we were choosing electives. And for some reason, I'd already maxed out on like workout classes and sports classes. They wouldn't let me take any more of those. They said, we got to fill you in somewhere. What's left?
Right.
And it was like either like an intro to art class. Like, I'm not want to do art. I'm not good at art. Never have been. And they said, well, we've got this home ec class. I said, I'm not really interested, but I guess put me in there. It'll be easy A, right?
Yeah, there might be two girls in there.
Always a shot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Always a shot. And so, the easy A and things like that, I just, so I said, cool, let's do it. And then I remember, I burnt my first roux, making a gumbo. I took that thing to the far max. It was burnt to a crisp. I remember making a football cake.
Okay.
with end zones and everything. That was probably the first cake I ever made.
Was it shaped like a football, or was it like a sheet cake that had a football?
Sheet cake. No, it was like the football field with like end zones for the Falcons and things like that.
Okay.
50-yard line and all that
Work
stuff.
with what you know.
Yeah, exactly. Simple, straightforward. So that was actually a success. I think the cake was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I do remember burning that roux, and I remember watching videos of Martin Yan. Yan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember she would show us videos of that, and then interestingly enough, at the end of that semester, we were introduced and said, hey, we've been chosen to start a ProStart Culinary Classroom. And ProStart's a national program for culinary arts in high schools.
Yep.
And this school decided to build an entire lab.
Wow.
And we were a magnet school, so I think there was maybe some of those funds floating around, and they gave us a full kitchen to start this ProStart culinary program. And it was crazy. I kind of helped head it up in a lot of ways. Like when I wasn't doing summer workouts, I came in and I was helping unpack equipment.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I was excited about it. And they just said they needed the help. And so, you know, I just kind of ingrained myself in it without even realizing what I was doing.
Right.
And then, just got excited about it and did that my junior and senior year of high school, and ended up competing in the statewide competition our senior year, and got second place in that. So close to going to nationals, but it was our first year though. So, you know, I'll take second place for our first year, but, so that was really special. And just created an opportunity for me to really fall in love with food and the culinary arts, and ended up doing a dual enrollment my senior year with Chattahoochee Technical College, and I got ServSafe certified while I was in high school. And
that is, for people who don't know ServSafe, I mean, it is all the rules. I've had to take that test before.
It is all the diseases, all the sickness, anything you can do to get somebody sick, or
time
have an issue, time temp abuse and all that stuff. And so I was able to take that class in high school and get college credit for it, which was pretty neat. So, you know, it seemed like that path was the best path for me. I wasn't excited about business school. I wasn't excited about anything else. I said, cool, food has just become my thing. And it was all by accident, honestly. I didn't mean to be in that class. I didn't mean to get excited about it. You know, I just like to make grilled cheese and ramen at home. You know, as any high schooler does, it's all you know how to make, I think.
I don't know if they know. I don't know that I always believe in accidents. I think there's definitely a path. So
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the flip side is you had food that you were learning about, but then I think one of the biggest components to the success of a restaurant is hospitality. And so you got an early lesson in what hospitality is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I started at Chik-Fil-A at 14.
Why did you go tell me? I want everybody to hear the story. This is one of my favorite stories.
Obviously Chik-Fil-A, it's a great company. And, my parents said, hey, Kyle, if you want a car, if you want a pager, or like the early days of a cell phone, if you want any of that stuff, you got to pay for it yourself. You know, we'll help you with the car a little bit, but like you
had allowance.
You got to contribute. They said there's no easy paths. You have to start to learn how to earn your way through life now. And it was honestly, it was a great lesson for sure. And so for whatever reason, it seemed like, Chick-fil-A right down the road, we always loved it. And so I don't know why I chose that above anything else. I don't remember.
But you were 14.
Yeah. So I don't remember interviewing anywhere else. Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much the youngest you can get a job. And they will hire you at that with limited hours.
Sure.
Still.
Yeah.
Right. And so I got on at Chick-fil-A at 14 years old and worked there all the way through high school, and was actually the youngest team lead or manager of that store. At that time, and I was actually able, with another person, to be able to close the restaurant, and even was taught how to count money and do some of the books. And I had a pretty decent level of responsibility, for a high school kid,
that's truly foundational
in this business. And I knew I could work in the kitchen, I could work in the front of the house, I closed, it was great, but Chick-fil-A is the antithesis of hospitality, right? Saying my pleasure.
The epitome of it.
Yeah, the epitome. Yes, yes, perfect. Yes, thank you so much. It totally embodies it, and just the thought process of my pleasure and how to take care of a guest and how to go above and beyond for people and just provide excellent service is something that they have always done really, really well with. And needless to say, that ingrained in me to this very day. I still say my pleasure probably more than I should. And every time I do, I think back to those days, and it's really special.
Because it is a pleasure
it really
to serve others. If you have a heart for service and you have a heart for hospitality, it does truly bring you joy.
Right. And I think, my parents taught me that a lot growing up, being around them in the kitchen, and just how special and how much it means to be able to provide that meal for your family. And then then Chick-fil-A just took that another layer deeper for me in a little bit more professional environment to be able to take care of people, and just, and work hard.
And not just your customers, but your staff.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Without your staff, you've got nothing.
Yeah. Mondi Valdez was an incredible owner operator, and still friends with him to this day. And really, it's Chick-fil-A did a lot for me. I have a lot to thank for that foundation.
Yeah, I really did want to touch on that Chick-fil-A through line also, and how you've got this amazing, beautiful white tablecloth restaurant here in Mountain Brook, Alabama, in Birmingham. And you had a full circle moment with Chick-fil-A.
I did. Mondi's wife actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, Kyle, we've been following you for years now." And
Aw.
I said, "What?" I said, and this is
Yeah.
just like through Instagram. I said, "Oh my God." I said, "So nice, shocked really.
Yeah.
So nice to hear from you. It's been so long." And said, "Hey," it's Mondi's birthday is coming up. I want to treat him in Birmingham. Can we come down and surprise him at your restaurant?"
Oh.
And I said, "Oh my God." I said, I'm getting chills just thinking about
Yeah,
it. It was
yeah.
such a cool moment. And so they came down from Atlanta and stayed the night at Grand Bohemian and came in and just had an excellent catch-up dinner with me.
Did he know you were here?
Yes, I think he did. I think
Okay.
she definitely let him know beforehand. I think it was
Okay.
a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
But then at some point she revealed it to him and just came in. It was just, it was just like we had never skipped a beat,
Oh.
Just it was such a fun meal. And
Did
again,
you have
full
a
circle moment.
special menu you created just for him, or did you just say or did you start sending stuff out?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What we usually do with most of our guests like that, is I just kind of get a feel for what they're in the mood for, and I'll just start supplementing with lots of extra food. And I made sure they were rolled out of here in wheelbarrows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were walking out very full for sure. But really just in some ways wanted to show off.
Of course.
Want to show off how far I've come from frying chicken nuggets to to making making beautiful Wagyu steaks and incredible entrees and small plates and things. And it was just so special. When I got my first chef coat in high school, I came to Mondi and said, "Hey, can I do a kitchen shift to like wear my chef coat?"
Oh.
And he was like, "No, this is Chick-fil-A, man." He's like, "You gotta wear your uniform." No, you can't do that. And I've always remembered that because I was so excited about it, right? I was so excited to put on the coat and just feel what it's like to be that, and just in those early days. And so to be able to have that coat on and approach his table and spend time with them and just give them this incredible meal and experience and just show him the hospitality that really kind of in a lot of ways started with him and with the things that he taught me about how to take care of people.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing to be able to take care of him for a chance after basically spent almost 4 years there at Chick-fil-A under his watch. So.
Did he? Okay, so one of my favorite things on your menu, I have lots, but one of my favorites is the carpaccio.
Yes.
Did you serve him that carpaccio?
Oh, you better believe it.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah. And anybody we love and care about definitely is getting sent the carpaccio for sure.
All right. What makes your carpaccio different?
Or
special?
I think it's a really fun dish because each bite is really different. We kind of spread all the toppings out almost like a pizza on top of it. The carpaccio is a blank canvas for just fun garnishes.
Okay.
And, there's 2 or 3 crunchy items. There's acidic items. There's creamy items. There's fresh herbaceous items. And I'm talking, arugula, pickled mustard seeds, fried shallots, crispy fingerling potatoes, and then beautiful truffle cheese and horseradish truffle aioli. And
I'm kind of drooling right now.
Yeah, it's just it comes together, finished all with olive oil and some finishing salt for crunch and flavor. And it's just each bite you take is different and it progresses, and each bite has different components in it as you kind of go for it. And so just that eating experience is a lot of fun and it's really flavorful.
And then you the version I had, you gilded the lily.
Oh yes, you had the caviar to it. Yes. That's the other secret hack too. Our menu, our servers are trained to let guests know that we can add caviar to anything on our menu.
I love that.
Just say the word, and the carpaccio is definitely not an exception to that rule.
Yeah.
We love to add it to that as well.
What's the craziest thing somebody has asked to add caviar to?
Oh my goodness. I should know this right off the top of my head. I have had some really fun ones. Ice cream is always a fun one if you get a guest that wants to do that.
That's
for
cool.
sure.
Sweet and salty.
Yeah, always the sweet and salty is great. We certainly offer it with our oysters.
Do you do caviar bumps?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Our menu is pretty friendly for caviar all around. I think
I like a caviar friendly menu.
Yeah, no, it really is. And one of my intentions was always to make with our caviar program was to be able to make it so that again that all of our dishes have that ability to really be upgraded and have a good time with them. So so people will add them to fries sometimes. A strange one I think I got was maybe spaghetti and red sauce. You know what I mean? That might not be the first thing that I want to put caviar on. That's a little atypical. But if you want to go with like cacio e pepe, that's a great one.
Perfect.
Obviously, any potato dish is a great one for that too.
Yeah. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah. Our menu is in that Italian focus, that fine dining focus. It really makes a lot of sense for a lot of our dishes to be elevated with caviar.
Yeah.
Maybe not spaghetti though.
Yeah, exactly. Where were you introduced to Wagyu?
Ooh, probably the first big glimpse into the Wagyu game for me was probably at when I was at Garden Grace, Denver, with Chef Troy Gard there. Big, great restaurant group, incredible, massive, gorgeous restaurant, bottom floor of a 50th story building in downtown Denver. I got my first taste of caviar there. I had a caviar tasting, I remember, that still stuck with me.
Sure.
That I'd never been able to do before, and that really opened that door for me as well. And then we did serve a couple different Wagyu cuts on that menu, and that was really the first time that I got to say, oh, wow, like really, really learned how important it is to be able to cook that properly, and really how to handle that type of expensive meat and serve it properly. And then we brought on a new chef as part of that group, and then he started to bring on some A5. We started to do little 2-ounce portions of that.
Talk about the varieties of Wagyu? Because some people will be like, I saw Wagyu on the menu, but all Wagyu is not the same. And I want you to talk too about the specific farm where your Wagyu comes from.
Correct. So there's two different ways to look at it. There's domestic Wagyu, of course, then there's true Japanese Wagyu, right? And you hear A5 a lot, and that's basically the grading and the quality of it, and A and 5 being the top two.
Okay.
So there is actually A4, there is actually A3. We just don't see that as much here in the States, because we want to go always to the max, right? So everybody wants to go A5. It's the highest graded Japanese Wagyu that you can find, right? Okay, and you can kind of get that in a strip or a ribeye, and then so then we import that, and there's a lot of different prefectures in Japan, and so here at Steak Bar we actually alternate those seasonally, so we can get a different type of beef in, and things like olive beef, snow beef from Hokkaido, which is what we serve in the winter.
Can you taste a difference in those?
I think you can, because they're all typically raised the same. I mean, just very high fat content diet and things like that. And just that incredible marbling. But I do think when you look at, there are certain bits of umami and butterness and even nuttiness.
Really?
That
based on their diet.
That comes out in each one. Yeah. I mean, the olive beef, for instance, they're literally fed a diet of fresh crushed olives the last 2 months of their life.
I did not know that. So
they're going to have this extreme salt brininess factor to it, and also other, maybe even fruitiness from the olives. You know what I mean? The snow beef we're getting are cattle that are literally raised in chateaus in northern Hokkaido that are just snow covered, and they have these really highly enforced roofs because they'll get 15, 20 feet of snow on the roofs, and they basically live in these freezing cold chateaus, and so they typically get a deeper layer of fat than some of the others do, and they're still fed a really rich diet. But because of the cold temperatures, they're packing on that fat in a different way, and their body's processing it a different way. So the final outcome of flavor is different.
How'd you learn about all of that?
Just studying, working with a couple great purveyors when I was in New York and Denver, and just being a student, right? Like the thing I love about being a chef is just the knowledge is almost endless.
Do you feel like you're a lifelong learner?
Absolutely. And in this business, you have to be if you want to be successful. Because there's always something new, and there's always somebody asking another question about something, and from whether how something is grown or raised. It's really important to just, if you love it, to know it. And I do love it. So the knowledge and chase the knowledge is really easy for me because I get excited about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought the excitement to Birmingham. So was there anything that surprised you about moving here?
Yeah. Honestly, the people.
Yeah,
the people. I've never lived in Alabama, being a Georgia boy coming from the city in Atlanta and things like that. I was like, Birmingham it's not as big of a city. It's a little more rural, and I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, man, is it just going to be, is everybody going to be nice? Is it going to be true Southern hospitality, or is it going to be?
Are they going to get me?
Yeah.
Are they going to get my food?
Yeah. Are they going to get this food? Are they going to be excited about food? But obviously, the reason that we wanted to build this restaurant here is that Birmingham is that food town. If you live here, you know that.
Yep.
That this city is just ingrained in such great food culture, and so for us, it's, I'm not saying it's been easy, but we have been pretty well welcomed, especially in the early days when we opened. It seemed like when Little Betty Steak Bar opened, there hadn't been a big opening in Birmingham in a while post COVID.
Yeah.
In a couple years. So it was December of 23.
Right.
Is when we opened. And so, post COVID and all those things kind of happening, and everyone not really sure what's going to happen and where is business going to go, and restaurant groups that were opening, tons of restaurants stopped, kind of reevaluated. And so then here we are, we came to town, and it seemed like there really hadn't been anything since then. And ever since we opened, there have been a lot of really great openings, which has been exciting to see.
So when you were coming to do a little reconnaissance, and you were like, okay, we're going to be going to Birmingham, and you came and you ate at some places, where did you go to eat before you opened your restaurant?
Yeah, of course. We went to all the big hitters. Of course, we went to Helen. Of course, we went to Automatic. just all these guys, Hot and Hot, that had been around for a long time. Ocean,
Yep.
at the time. I think those were really the big four that I kind of stopped in, that I had done some research on and got really excited about. And
Okay.
and yeah, and all those restaurants are thriving and have an incredible place in the history of Birmingham and the food
Sure.
scene. And all of them were fantastic,
Yeah.
And I was so I said, okay, cool. I said Birmingham it's legit, it's
It
legit.
is.
Like, people here care about food, and the food is good, and see a lot of people working with great farms all over the Southeast, and just a lot of care and thoughtfulness into everything we do, and all the Gulf fish and the
Right.
Gulf proteins and things that I got really excited about learning, because I didn't really know about that when I lived in Atlanta as a young chef. And certainly when I was living in Colorado, we were more West Coast focused,
Sure.
with things from the Pacific Northwest to California to even Hawaii. I came here and I kind of had to learn about the abundance of the Gulf,
Yeah.
and really all the opportunities that I had to have that reflected
To
in our menu
showcase.
as well. And so I also got really excited about that.
Yeah. So when you talk about you say we here. Okay. So you have an amazing staff.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite person on your staff?
I'm a little biased. I
Okay.
might have a favorite person on our staff, but it does go
Okay.
a little bit deeper than that. To me, whenever I talk about the restaurant or what we're doing, it's just always we.
It is a team.
It's just always we. And I think that's really important. We talk about this thing being called humble, hungry, and smart. It's the ideal team player.
Humble, hungry, and smart.
It's what we look for in every single person that we interview and bring here. So I try to embody that the
Yeah.
best I can, and bring that to what I do, which is also being humble about my food.
Sure.
And the team effort that goes behind that. So it's never I, it's always we.
Yeah.
But there is somebody special that works here, and that is my partner in life, Britton Crotta. We've been
Okay.
together for 5 years. We moved to Aspen together, and then just have continued that journey to Birmingham,
Okay.
and again, to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. And she's my chef de cuisine.
Amazing.
She's back there right now handling the day crew, and she's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, a
Just
true
a
partner.
amazing partner, strong woman in the kitchen as you
Mhm.
have to be.
Right.
Has no problem telling people what to do, and it's even 50-year-old men just being able to boss them around and get the work
Yeah.
done. She's
Yeah.
not afraid of it. And it's just
That's great.
has no fear, and she's just great. She's so smart and so organized, and is 100% the yin to the yang of my creativity. I handle the creativity and kind of that side of it, the service side, and she makes sure that we're ready to go, that the team is right, but then most importantly, that the numbers are right and that we're building a
That's
profitable
huge.
business.
Yeah. So tell me how you guys met.
Okay, so that's a fun story too.
Yes.
So we actually met. So I was in Denver at the time. It was COVID, near the end of COVID. I was in Denver at the time, and we had a mutual friend who put together an online sandwich competition.
Okay.
Like a March Madness style. Submit your sandwich. He's going to approve them and set it up, and then you have all your friends online go and vote for them through social media. And then that's kind of how you did. Hey, you're going up head to head with this person this
Okay.
week. Go on and vote, and there's a picture of your sandwich and all that stuff. Well, I kind of got into this and started it and got to the first couple rounds and started paying attention to everybody else.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw a tag. It said Chef Britt. And I said, Chef Britt? I said, there's another chef in this competition? Oh, this is going down
So this
now.
wasn't just chefs. It was like anybody could do
It was anybody
competition.
kind of in his extended friend group.
Okay.
He kind of put it out to everybody. And then he reached out to me specifically and said, hey, do you want to do this? This could be a lot of fun.
Like,
I said,
yeah.
absolutely. And so honestly, it was a bunch of just, normal folks or friends of his and ours. I didn't really know anybody. I didn't know anybody in the competition. Because his friend group is pretty wide. And so I just saw this tag on one of the posts that said Chef Britt. And I said, Chef Britt? I said, there's another chef in here? Oh, we can't have this. And so I clicked on her name and started looking at her, and then I followed her. And the story even goes that, she was kind of off put when I started following her, because she thought that I was going to try she thought that I was going to try to steal votes or get in, do something like that
Shady.
or whatever. Yeah, something kind of shady. She totally saw it from that lens, and that wasn't it at all. I looked her up and I was like, man, she's cute. Let's find out what's going on with her. Okay,
Yeah.
this is interesting. Then so we ended up facing each other in the semifinals.
Okay.
I won.
Oh.
I won.
What was your sandwich that you won with?
Okay, so my sandwich was it was such a good idea. I should really recreate it. So birria had really just blown up, kind of. It's
Okay.
still pretty big now, right?
Tell people what birria is.
Yeah, so birria, it's typically going to be braised oxtail or goat meat with lots of chilies and peppers, braised down so it's soft and tender, shredded. Then the sauce is kind of set aside, maybe reduced a little bit further, some tomato and things into a rich, really broth, right?
Okay.
And then you take that shredded meat, stuff it into a taco with loads of cheese. You dip the shell of the taco in that consomme broth as well to give this beautiful kind of red hue to it.
Okay.
Then kind of grilled out on the flat top, cheesy braised beef goodness with this kind of red lens to it with that beautiful aromatic, slightly spicy dipping consomme on the side to dip it into.
That's
so
fancy.
So good. So good,
but
right?
Like street food, typically.
Street food, but
but elevated.
But can kind of be elevated too. But for sure, I mean, there's tons of taco places in town who do a great birria.
Yeah.
Shout out Taco Moro Loco right by my house.
Yes.
I love theirs. I would get it 3 times a week if I could. But definitely not that good for you. It's a lot of cheese. It's a lot of cheese if they do it right. But that being said, took that idea of birria that I got really excited about because I really loved it. And I took that and I made a birria taco, but then I took that cheesy taco and then I stuffed that inside of a grilled cheese. And then dipped both sides of the grilled cheese in that consomme and then kind of pan fried that. And also the grilled cheese was kind of had this beautiful red hue to it and had 3 or 4 cheeses with a birria taco straight up stuffed inside of it.
Yeah.
And then of course consomme and cilantro and onion on the side. And so it was just fun, interesting,
How does
unique
that
kind of
qualify
mashup.
as a sandwich though? Were there guidelines like?
No, anything between 2 slices of bread.
Okay.
It could be because the sandwich I lost to in the finals was a waffle sandwich.
Okay.
With fried chicken on the inside and 2 waffle kind of buns on the outside. So, the sky's the limit, I guess. You know? And so I came up with this fun grilled cheese. And Britt had this beautiful kind of caprese sandwich that was gorgeous, and her picture was way better than mine. It was on the ledge of her lake house overlooking this beautiful lake in New Mexico. So so she was slaying it. Like everyone was voting on her. I can't believe I beat her, to be honest with you. And so she was kind of mad that I beat her, but at the end of the day, I won the ultimate prize.
You did.
I did. I won the ultimate prize. I slid into those DMs head first, and the next thing you know, I'm doing trips to New Mexico, down to Albuquerque, and getting to know her. And
that's awesome.
Really the rest is history. I asked her to move to Aspen with me, and we both got. I had the job at Catch. She ended up working at the Little Nell there.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal.
She was a sous chef at the Little Nell through Element 47, their fine dining multi-course restaurant.
Yeah.
So she went down there and just absolutely, leveled up. I did my thing with Catch, and and then kind of came across this opportunity.
Yeah. And then, so you said, in Birmingham, do you live near Taco Moro Loco?
I do. Yeah. I'm in Avondale.
Okay.
Yeah. We just bought a house a year ago, so we're here for a little bit for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what do you love about the Avondale neighborhood? Which is like completely diametrically different from where we're sitting right now.
100%. Well, I like it. It's a lot of single families. There are other chefs that live in Forest Park, like kind of right next to that area and everything. It's just, it's just kind of a low key area. It's close to the city. It's close to Mountain Brook. It's fun. It's lively. It's growing. There's good food there, and obviously music there. Avondale Brewing has just absolutely leveled up their music the last couple of years too. Saturn is there. We love that place as well. And plus, they have the coffee program and concerts, and so there's
park. You have Avondale Park.
Walk our dog there every day.
Oh,
it's the best thing. We know
what
the
kind
ducks.
Of dog do you have?
Chippa is a Terry Poo.
Okay. Oh,
so
pocket. You have like a pocket-sized dog.
Not pocket-sized. She's about 18 pounds.
Okay.
She's not pocket-sized.
Okay, that's a big pocket.
It is a big
that
pocket.
Would be a big pocket.
But she's our everything. She's our sweetheart. So literally we walk her at the park every day, and just Avondale is just a special place. It really is. It's a small pocket of town, but we really like it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's growing. It's not overly family classic neighborhood cul-de-sac HOA centric.
It's a little gritty.
There's a little bit of grit to it, but
way.
Some great history to it as well. The house we bought was a remodeled home that was built in like the late 30s. And just we love it. It has great bones, and it's such a great place to live. We really do like it.
Yeah, and one of the things I love about Birmingham, and I hear other people say this when they come to town, is like you can kind of be anywhere you want to be in 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing.
Absolutely. I could not do that in Denver. I could not do that in Charlotte. I could not do that in Atlanta.
Exactly.
By any means. So absolutely. And that's, we love it. Now, if it takes more than 15 minutes and I'm somewhere else, I'm mad.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to go back to Birmingham. That's part of the best thing about living here at this time, because I know it's going to grow and it won't always be like that.
I know, but it is very special.
It is. We love it.
Yeah. I think it's very special. So do you shop any, do you ever, like when you're cooking at home for yourself, do y'all ever shop at the markets on Green Springs?
Absolutely. Yeah. We love Hometown. We love Mi Pueblo. They're both great. The restaurant in the back of Mi Pueblo is really special.
It is amazing. If people haven't eaten there, it's like, it's a hidden gem.
Oh yeah. The pozole is amazing.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it is a great little hidden gem for sure.
People don't know it's there.
Absolutely. So we're there a couple times a month for sure. If not,
they have like a fajita package too. You can get.
Oh my God, I haven't gotten.
Yeah, the meat counter, like it's like has everything you need, just like grab and go to make fajitas at home.
Oh, that's perfect.
So if they're not coming here to have steak, then we can do it there.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I think having ethnic markets like that in any city, I think is super important.
Yes.
I think it certainly attests to the growth of the city, and then just being able to access that is
and that diversity.
Yeah, is amazing.
It's really
and
important.
I like to cook all that food,
Yeah.
whether it's at home or the restaurant. So yeah, so being able to have that here is definitely, I feel like we're lucky.
Yeah, we are lucky
because some cities this size may not even have that yet.
Yeah.
So
True.
yeah.
All right, lightning round. Okay. What's the late night snack that you make for Britton?
Oh my goodness, late night snack for us. Okay, well, it's a little different. We're being really healthy right now. We've both lost like over 40 pounds in the last 6 months. So
nice job.
Yeah. So we're super healthy right now. Honestly, our big thing is we do like a light meal prep of like these, like usually Asian inspired, like ground beef bowls.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, so we'll have rice, some beautiful ground beets sauteed. We'll have a little veg in there. We kind of come home and we just kind of dress that up. We kind of keep it a little neutral. So if you want to go more Asian tonight, we can.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go maybe a little more Latin, we'll have some cilantro and things like that in there.
Avocado.
And you can kind of come home and just, hey, we're bowls tonight. Yep, absolutely cool. Let's put together our bowls. Which one are you gonna do? And we love condiments. So we have tons.
Do you pickle things?
Oh my goodness, yeah, absolutely. We have jars of pickled onions, regular pickles, any extra veg that may look like it's going bad. I mean,
goes in the pickle brine
all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. You can't waste it.
What's the craziest thing you ever pickled?
Oh my goodness. What was it? We did something a couple months ago. I tried to pickle some corn.
Oh,
I thought that was interesting. It was okay.
Yeah.
The texture was a little weird.
Like you see the baby corn.
Yeah, it was like corn off the cob, and I thought it would be fun to do.
Yeah,
it was a little strange. I might not do that one again, or maybe it needs just a different brine to go with it. Yeah. So that one's in the back shelf. It wasn't my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We have to try a lot of things to see what wins.
No, for sure. And honestly, it's so strange. I've come up with some of my favorite dishes for the restaurants just cooking at home.
Okay.
One of those would be probably one of our popular items, the hand-cut pappardelle. On our menu was a dish I made when we lived in Colorado in our little condo in the mountains.
Yep.
And just it was an inspiration based off of a dish I had at an Italian restaurant when I was working in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of always had this pappardelle with sausage and truffle in my mind. It just stuck with me because the flavors are just there, right?
Yep.
And so I kind of took it to the next level. I made it into a true bolognese, but went with a white bolognese route with it, with just milk, and then finished it with cream and butter on the pickup and a good bit of cheese, and then doing great sausage with it, and then we ground mushrooms into the sofrito as well.
Wow.
So those got really well caramelized with all that
layers and layers and layers.
100%, yeah. And even when we cook it here in our tilt skillet, when it's cooking, because everybody that walks in the building just says, "Oh my God, what are we making?"
Yeah,
and that's always the one we're making. It's the best aroma in the world.
Awesome.
And so that dish was great. I made it for dinner for her one night in Aspen, and we instantly knew. We were like, "Hey, this is a restaurant dish.
Yes,
like, this would be great on any menu."
Yeah, if I see pappardelle on a menu, I'm always going to order that too, because it has to be fresh.
Right.
Like you can get it at the Pig, but it's not going to be the same as having it in a restaurant.
True.
Yeah.
True. 100%.
Yeah.
So the pasta program was always something we knew we wanted at the heart of Little Betty.
Yeah.
And it kind of started with that dish, to be honest with you. We took it to our tasting when we were kind of working our way to get to earn this job.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, I mean, it's been on our menu. It's on our menu at Luella in Atlanta. It's a top seller at all of our restaurants.
That's
awesome. It's such a good homey.
And from a
you feel the love behind it.
Yeah. From a cost perspective, like if you don't have the truffles in there, like that's a nice margin on that dish.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And we're using beautiful, best quality Duroc pork sausage for that. That just has beautiful fat content, really luxurious, and great local mushrooms. And of course, we make the pappardelle every single day in house, of course. It's just such a great dish.
Yeah.
So delicious.
So you talked about mushrooms and local. Do you ever forage?
That's something I haven't been able to really get into much, I need to find the right person that can kind of show me around.
Well, after we had all this rain, a friend of mine was over at her house the other day, and they'd collected a pound of chanterelles.
No way.
Yeah, local.
No way.
Yeah. And then she taught me the trick about how you have to cut it open to see if it's an actual chanterelle or else it's like a jack-o'-lantern or something.
Yes, correct. There's another species that's that is very, very similar to it.
Yeah, so you have to be careful with that.
Yep. But chanterelles are now popping up, which is amazing.
Yep.
I knew a couple guys in Denver and in the mountains of Colorado that I was able to occasionally go out with. We had a lot of burn patches there, and burn morels are a thing, and so you'd find them on a lot of like burn logs and burn areas popping out of the ground, and they have a little bit different flavor, but they're still great, and so you can find a lot of those. And so he taught me a little bit about that, but I just I haven't really jumped on the opportunities here to get out in the woods as much.
Have you ever done a ramp tramp?
No, I never have.
Okay.
How amazing is that? Have you?
It is amazing.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
Yes. I went out, I'm not gonna say who I went on the ramp trip with because I dropped a pin because we went to a special spot and I dropped a pin on my phone to see exactly where we were. So I've got it marked. It's just about a 6-hour drive.
Oh,
so
that's it.
but it is like one of the most fun things you could do.
That's very smart of you. I did find some on a hike randomly when I was in Denver one time. We did a really great hike to a lake out in the middle of nowhere, and where we camped, we did find a small patch of wild ramps. That's the only time I've ever stumbled.
Right.
So I had the lucky just stumble across. I wasn't even looking for them. I just like, hey guys, is this what I think it is?
Yes,
and yeah, it was awesome.
And it's like you just feel like a leprechaun, like you just found it.
You do. You really do.
Yeah,
it is really a special thing to find it. But so, God bless all those who can go out there and spend the time hunting for them. I don't have that much free time, unfortunately, but I would love to hopefully be able to get out there.
All right, one thing. Okay, I know we're gonna wrap up, but like, there's a dish that I had in Denver, and you're gonna laugh at me, but corn in a cup.
Corn in a cup?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That?
Well, it's an Hispanic dish, and it's it's like they char the corn and they take it off the cob, and then it has like a bunch of cotija cheese and stuff like that, and like a crema.
Oh yeah. The elote. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I'm this girl over here calling it corn in a cup. So
absolutely no, that's one of our favorite things.
So you have like a creamed corn on the menu, but that's a little different. That's an Italian version.
We do. It's a little bit of Italian, but I tell you what, this is our #1 selling side during the summer.
Really?
That's our corn in a cup.
It
is so popular. We do just a beautiful cream corn base, and we do a layer of mozzarella cheese on top of the corn, and then we put kind of a what we call it a corn bake. It's basically like a corn spoon bread made with polenta on top of it. And then we bake that, and it's kind of sweet, and so you kind of get through that creamy corn like baked crust. And then there's a little bit of cheese, you get down to the creamy corn. It's it's our favorite dish of the summer.
That's amazing.
People ask us to keep it on the menu year round, but honestly I can't do it. I can't do it.
It has to be legitimate ingredient.
I can't put corn on the menu in December. It's not in my heart of hearts as a chef. I can't do it. So it is seasonal for us. So it's here for the summer and then it's gone. And it's definitely one of our favorite dishes.
That's
but
awesome.
I'm committed to cooking seasonally at Little Betty and all of our concepts. I feel like the earth tells us what we should be eating and what we should be cooking. And the more we can follow that, the better food that we'll have.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So congrats on your weight loss journey too. I think that's fantastic. What is like the #1 swap or the new habit you took on or you shed that made a difference?
Just be more conscious about the food you're really putting into your body, especially after work. That's where like the beef or ground or turkey bowls and things like that kind of really come into play. That's why I mentioned that, because we kind of really do those a lot. And just trying to keep that after work calorie count down, and then just being smart about fried food intake, especially during the day at work. It's really easy. We do family meal for both lunch and dinner. Some days.
Can you tell people what family meal is if they don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So we feel it's really important to nourish our staff, right? Not just cook for our guests, but also cook for our staff. And so we provide a meal for all of our staff who work both the morning shift and the night shift, and that's called family meal. And so we all break at the same time. It should actually be up anytime now.
Ooh,
yeah, absolutely. We're getting ready to have lunch family meal here, and we all sit down and break bread together. And it's a moment to just catch up, be human, take a few minutes away from the drive of the day and the push of the day, refuel your body, enjoy some food. And some days it's a little bit bigger meal and we have more time and get more thoughtful with it and have a big spread. Other days it might be chicken tenders and fries and sauces, you know, just depending on what's going on. That's usually our weekend go-to because we're so much busier.
Sure.
But we have a lot of fun cooking it. We have a lot of fun nourishing the staff, and we do that for lunch and for dinner for our entire team. And it's a good opportunity just to come together, nourish, eat, but also it's a perk for the staff to say, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to feed you. You're going to be full going into your shift. Don't worry about food. Go out there, do your job. And, so that's a good thing for everybody.
There was a whole book that came out several years ago called Come In, We're Closed or something like that. And it was all about, it was family meals at every different, like tons of different restaurants.
Oh, I've got to find that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I did a story on family meals in Birmingham that restaurants did. And I just love that concept because it's, you're not going to be serving caviar at family meal, and sometimes you can let other chefs who are coming up on the line flex a little bit. They're like, hey, you're in charge of family meal today.
Yeah, I remember one of my Joseph Mayhall, one of our newer sous chefs. He was so excited when he came onto the team from a cook to a sous chef, and he was so excited about being able to take it over some days. You know,
Oh,
he was like, chef, he's like, when do I get to come up and
yeah.
can I make the menu this week? Or hey, what day can I come in maybe an hour early and cook for the team? I would really love to do that. Or even, when we did a Southbound Food Festival 2 years ago was the first time. This last year we did it again, and our guest chef Pat Pasquarella from Atlanta said, hey chef, said I would love to cook. Do you guys do family meal? I said absolutely. He said, well, I would love to cook family meal for your team. That's so
Oh,
good.
that's
So
awesome.
on top of doing the 5 courses that he brought to us that night and prepared, he also, we picked up a couple things for him. He did this incredible, just like Nona inspired, just like slow cooked sugo with sausage and other pork, and
Wow.
just it was just beautiful and amazing. You just really felt his love and his heritage behind that as an Italian chef, and just for him to reach out and say, hey chef, I want to cook for your team as well.
Yeah.
Is that's special. That's hospitality. That's hospitality. That's
Yep.
next level thinking. And just,
Yep.
we were just honored to allow him to do that.
That's
And
fantastic.
that's cool. So we love our family meal. We love cooking for each other.
Because sometimes that's the first introduction to a dish that a server or a kitchen staff might have. I mean, if they didn't grow up eating at fancy restaurants, then they don't know what they don't know.
Yep.
And it's a great way to have that hands-on education.
Yep. It definitely is. Shout out baked potato bar. That's my favorite one that we do.
Oh, yes.
Give me a nice baked potato, load it up with some toppings. It's a
Yes.
great meal. That's my favorite. It's also usually healthy if you want.
Yes,
So.
exactly. If you want to. Yeah. Yeah. I like butter with a side of potato.
Amen.
So,
Right.
yeah.
I know. Oh, it's so good.
That part's hard. All right. What did I not ask you today that you really want to mention? And if you don't have anything, that's okay, because we did get to cover a lot.
No, just we're really excited about. We just opened Sea Bar 2 months ago. That's a really special concept. Again, I think we're doing a seafood concept that is very different than what anybody else in town is doing. Through it's our love letter to the coast through a Japanese lens.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just a combination of a lot of fun dishes. Our sushi program is great. Our nigiri program is great. We're one of the few restaurants in town that really do bring in true otoro tuna belly. And really do several different fun things with it. And we're just excited about exposing Birmingham to some different techniques, some a little bit different styles of food. And the reception has been really, really great so far.
That's
We're only
awesome.
2.5 months in, and we're getting ready to update the menu again with that, with just some new fresh ideas, because it's kind of turning into my little playground. It's just the lens that we have to cook through for Steak Bar is certainly one thing, and we can be creative in a lot of different ways here. But also, I know people are looking for something when they come to a steakhouse experience.
Sure.
But in the seafood experience, I have a lot more opportunity to be a little bit more chefy and do more interesting small plates and small bites, and just kind of do things in a little bit different way. So it's kind of becoming, I keep telling people, it's kind of my new playground. I can really start to flex or do just different fun techniques that just people really aren't looking for on this side, but people are really excited about over there so far.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so we have this beautiful corn dish that has this beautiful corn and scallop dish that has miso and truffle, and it's just it's absolutely phenomenal. We've been running it the last 2 weeks. We can't wait for it to hit the menu, and just we're just having a lot of fun with it.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's really good.
Thank you for sitting down with me today.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.